I'd like to call the workshop to order. Confirmation of proper notice.
Noted, posted according to statutory requirements.
Oh, we don't really need,
No.
we got. Let's go right into our spectrum presentation. You Just introduce yourself.
Yep. Good morning, everyone.
There you go.
Now we,
Hi, y'all. You got the flag in the back.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Brad Lunger. I'm with Spectrum Community Solutions. I've got manager Adam Perkins with me here today. Got the big guns. First, I wanted to say thank you for the relationship we have with you guys. We appreciate you as customers. What I'm doing here is I'm looking to discuss the upcoming renewal eligibility. My whole goal is to make it better. Nobody ever really argues that. I kept it really simple for you. I gave a one-page bullet point breakdown here of what you have now. Just to run through this really quickly for you, and then I'll go into any questions and anything else we need to. But right now, the current contract expires October 31st here. We do allow, we put you in a window of eligibility to renew and renegotiate within 18 months to that deadline. We're approaching that here in about a month. We don't penalize you for that 18 months. We just take it as if we re-sign the agreement, that 18 months is not tacked on at the end. We're not going to charge a fee for it. We just put you into the new terms. Right now, you have the Platinum TV package. It is basically the same as the lineup that I've provided you there. It's just the older title for it. With the change, you won't lose anything. We're just like the version of the TV package. You gain a couple channels, but nothing major. You won't lose anything. Okay. Everybody has 2 set-top boxes included with the current contract. If you have more than 2, those are an additional charge, but that's individually billed to each resident. You have the community channel insert. Right now, you're at a 5% annual rate increase. The industry standard on that is actually 6%. So we've got a little bit better of a deal going there. Internet speed that we offer is a 300 megabits. That's our base level speed. Some people may have opted to upgrade and move into a faster tier, but again, they're paying separately for that on their own. Modem and router is included, and the monthly per door charge is $63.82. Of course, that is a pre-tax. Even
really works out closer to 70, right?
Yeah, when you figure in the taxes, it's about $6-7. The proposed solution, of course, renewal of the 5-year term. And again, we're going to wipe out that 18 months. Keep you at the 5% annual rate increase. Since you have it already, I'm not going to raise you up on the cost or on the rate increase. The channel lineup is called the Spectrum TV Select. You also have the Entertainment View and Sports View. That channel lineup provided, you get everything on there. Disregard the asterisks, that's for a different package. You do get everything. You'll still have the community channel insert. You'll still have the 2 boxes also. What we're doing now is we've launched, you'll have an option. Go ahead.
What is the community channel insert?
So that is where you have a channel designated for community events.
Ever since we went from analog to digital, we've lost our channel.
That's not available to you anymore?
It's not been given to us. Been gone for about 3 years.
I will figure that out. So I'll take mental note of that one. The boxes, you'll still have the option of either the 2 set-top boxes like you have now. We've also launched a new device called the Zumo streaming box, similar to like a Roku or an Apple TV, if you guys are familiar with those. What this is, you'll have the option of either or, and it's all internet-based, right? So you aren't bound by where that coax outlet is. Cable box. You want to put a TV on your porch? Put a TV on your porch. All connected through HDMI. That's one little one. The Zumo is also voice activated, so you have a voice search option, and it connects all your other apps. You use Net, use Prime Video, they're all on there. You have one source for everything. Search on there. If you say, I would really like Tom. I don't know where they're all going to be at, but I want to find Tom. You search with that, it's going to pull all of your apps and show you all of Tom Cruise movies on those. Nice. One of the nicest things we're offering to do for you here is upgrade the internet. We want to triple your speed. We're going to take you to our top end speed, which is a gig internet speed. Breaks down at 900. It's quick. Modem and router still included. The per door rate, we're looking to lower for you. We want to drop down to $53, so very significant savings there. And then as a nice added kicker, another thank you for being a customer, we would like to compensate the HOA $200 per door paid 90 days after the service goes effective. So again, that doesn't go to the homeowner, that goes to the fund. So that totals out at $111,600. Nice little money. There's no requirements on what to do. We don't say, well, you got for infrastructure improvement. There's do what you want. You want to work on the pool or whatever the case may be. Have that in. Let's see. We are also one thing that's not listed on here. We're going through a conversion. It's called a high split conversion. And what this is, we upgrade the equipment to deliver service into the community. That's going to allow us to offer symmetrical, same benefit that you would have if you were 5. So when that happens, the gigabit speed internet will be gigabit both ways, upload and down.
Timetable.
Your area is scheduled for second quarter of 25. So next year. Mhm. So let me open it up here. What kind of questions do you have?
I was just gonna, when you say the 8 months goes away, you're saying we're basically renegotiating our contract now.
Mhm.
And so the new lower rate and all that. Yeah, that's existing contract.
Yeah, so we would forego the rest. It takes 60 days after we end contract to implement. That's my operations and billing team going in and updating all the coding, changing if anybody's paying extra for faster internet. Once it goes into effect, your contract starts. There's no.
And what's written into our current contract, negotiating timeframe? That 18 months in there and you're waiving it, or?
Well, so it's just kind of our company that we all allow the renegotiation.
Okay.
It's not, I don't believe there's any language in the contract regarding that. But it's, yeah, there won't be any.
Okay.
What about network in the facilities here? Outside the buildings and inside? Is any of that changed? Any of that updated?
Nothing needs to change unless, I mean, if you have an issue, if there's pedestals that have been beat up by the landscapers or.
Yes.
Yeah, I think everywhere.
That, and there's a lot of exposed wiring.
We'll fix all of that, yes. I mean, and that doesn't even have to wait for the renegotiation. If there's an issue like that, you need to know.
So all of that stays coaxial outside, and then it's
So it's the fiber optic up to the point,
Fiber to the node, so what delivers service. Fiber comes to the node is coax.
so the coax can still handle this, the new speed. Slow down.
Before I even submitted the offer for approval, I sent this over to my engineers, had to check the equipment. Look at everything behind the scenes and say, will this be okay? Got a grant.
We still have those pedestals outside.
Pedestals will still be there, yeah. That's gonna be with any company, you know, I know you mentioned you were talking to some other providers too. This is gonna be the least impactful way to get you to the next level.
How about this? Is the down speed gonna be the same as the up, or is the up?
Currently, it's the not symmetrical or the asymmetrical speed. So it'll be 940 down, 35 up. But once we do the high second quarter next year, that's where it'll be the 940 down.
My office gets the complaints, obviously, and some of the board members, the biggest complaints we have now is that we're supposed to be a minimum of 200.
Mhm.
And we get owners calling, they don't get it. And they call in and they're told by the office that you're not supposed to have 200, you're only supposed to be 100.
The original agreement was signed at 100.
Yeah.
What we do, this, why they would have ever been, when we upgrade, when we stop offering the 100, and we move to 200 or now the 300, no one has, it's just done across. So everybody should be seeing the 300 megabit download speed. It may be an issue of an older modem. It may be, keep in mind, wireless is always going to be a slower connection than wired. You get some degradation there.
But the verbiage coming back when they ask the question, no, your agreement says you're never supposed to get any more than 100. It's ill-timed best.
Yeah. It shouldn't be that case. They shouldn't be told that.
They are, okay.
And the new agreement will state that.
Are there any community, what was the term they used for like the security cameras and stuff?
Amenity, yeah. We had cameras in use, and we had to have individual IP addresses that ranged quite expensive. Currently shut it down to reevaluate how we want to use it. How can you help us in that manner?
So if the camera system needs static IPs, then you would need to stay with a small business internet connection, because that is where the static IP. If you have a camera system that does not require static IP, I'll give you internet everywhere you need.
Do we need static IPs then? Anybody know?
I'll have to find out.
It's dependent on the system. Some of them do, some of them don't. A lot of the static IP relates back to remote viewing. So if you're trying to watch from anywhere, check those cameras on your phone. That's a lot of times for the static IP.
Right now, we're just going to a couple individuals for security purposes.
Right.
So
I
we
would
don't want to
talk to-
blast it out.
I would talk to the IP company that you utilize.
Okay.
Can we get away with doing this without static IPs? How can we make? And if you need, help with that.
Good. Okay, great.
I didn't hear you mention anything about recording.
So DVR, is that what you're referencing? So DVR, if you would like to add that on, that is an option for you. That's just not included in the package, just like now. So if it's something that somebody's still with the Zoom, if you opt to go that route instead of the standard cable box, that will, as you subscribe to the cloud DVR service, you'll be able to access that cloud DVR recording on any of your Zoom boxes, any Spectrum app that you log in, even on your phone or your iPad, Samsung TV, any of those related.
So that device, that's you said similar to a Roku.
Mhm.
Yeah. That means you do need an updated TV for that device? You don't have quote smart TV, whatever the hell.
It turns a regular TV into a smart TV. Think about it.
And it covers more than one TV at a time.
One device per TV. Or one TV per device.
So how many devices do you, so if you give two cable boxes, do you give two of these?
Yep, you'll have the option of either two of the Zumos or two of the cable boxes.
Okay.
And if you would like additional, the Zumo boxes really aren't expensive, and you can buy them out. You can bill you $5 a month for it, but really, my mindset.
So it's kind of like a Fire Stick.
Exactly like
Yeah.
the Fire Stick. It's actually good. Watch it here. It's actually got. It's like a- Yeah. You don't have- But the voice surge on all, you know, they have control channel. It's watch this channel.
We seem to have terrible inconsistency with our speeds.
Okay.
For example, when I first came in this room, I tested 96. Now it's only 40. And the modem is right in the closet, like 10 feet away.
Right.
We have 0.
Yeah.
And it's consistent. It happens daily. The speeds are not at 100 even. And forget about 200.
Well,
Now,
keep in mind though, wireless is going to be slow, right?
that's true, but it shouldn't be
No,
150 slow.
it should not. We.
And I can tell you that at my unit, if I turn the router off, turn it back on, it resets itself and goes back.
Okay.
But it's like you have to do it every day,
Would you have the cylindrical looking router? Like a,
no, yeah, 2 pieces.
if any of you are, if the equipment that you have is not the cylindrical looking router, the modem's still going to be a bump, right? But the router itself, which Wi-Fi, that's not a cylindrical shaped device, and you've got old equipment. That would be as far as the speed inconsistencies here, we can definitely talk to our field ops.
How many times do you change your equipment?
Not very often. When we do, we future proof, right? So we launched the Wi-Fi 6 router a while back. It was to be able to be ready for all of the symmetrical network. So it's not often.
Another question, why do you have the same, so I could go up on panels? I find that show on 2 or 3 more channels.
One's high definition, one is not. Standard.
High definition on 2 and a low side. I very seldom go high.
So the same channel lineup.
Another thing that we hear all the time is they lose certain channels. People like, what is the guarantee to keep package within what we have originally agreed?
So what we're providing is everything short of the premium channel, right? So anything besides HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, those type of channels, we've given it. Now, from time to time, like so was channel loss there. There was also channel back and some benefit given back. Everybody, you guys all now have Disney Plus available to you. Have and want to use that, it's there. But the way it works with those disputes, that's really the networks charge us a broadcast fee to provide the service to you guys. It's a filtered through charge, right? So, well, here you go. You subscribe to that. That's what they're charging for us. We fight with them because from time to time they come back and they get very extreme with their asks, and they want us to charge way more money. And that's where the disputes come in. It's not us saying, "Oh, we don't want to carry this channel." We want all of it. We don't want to charge you guys money. That's what's still out there. I just watched a space launch recently.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I stumble on it.
Yeah. That's strange. I will check on the channel lineup to make sure you're looking at the right one. Sometimes the channel change, like the number of it. So that might be the case.
Where is that NASA when I saw it?
Well, then that would be it, yeah. I can
I don't even see it
research that one.
listed in the lineup.
That used to be up in the 1100s.
Not even on.
I'll find out more for you.
What's the cost of these extra channels? HBO, WWS.
I believe it's, off the top of your head, I think, is it $5? Okay, so $5. Per
No,
channel.
More than that. I'm paying more than,
Same with that. We'll have to look at new bulk rates. They change all the time. So it used to be $20
Yeah.
for all those digital. Around one of the old subscription packages. Linked it down to like. what-
Why can't that stuff be automatic? If there's old and new.
Yeah, you're
Why
not.
why do we have to originate?
Back billing. For somebody actively monitoring free promotion. And they just set the codes on the contract and just value. That's what it is. But if you call in and because you guys are paying retail rates. So some of the retail rates are a little bit older. And you can always call in and say, hey, is anything we can do? I'm not under the bulk contract here. Give me your code, your address, and they can be able to look up any promotional offer.
So it's always up to us to make the phone call.
Unfortunately, that's the way it's set up because this bulk contract, once we set it onto the master account, it doesn't include any of those master or extra additional HBO, Showtime, and Cinemax, all that. We don't include that into the bulk contract. Those are getting paid at retail rate outside. But if we were to add it in, we could bump it up to bulk it. But it adds cost for every single door if we bulk it into the contract. Otherwise, you gotta get paid at retail. You gotta call in to get a better deal out there.
To touch on what Adam's saying there is a specific, instead of having to call regular customer service that is called from all 41 states, you guys will have or you already have a specific team that only works with 4 call centers around the country. They're all US based, all very well for the bulk agreements. So when calling, you shouldn't have to wait long. Right. And it'll get you to the right place. If you guys don't have those numbers, I'll send that to John.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Takes forever to get a hold of anybody, to get anything done.
This will take you straight to the right team, so there's no bouncing around, oh, the call, I can't talk to you. Department.
Well, why are we finding that out now?
You can't say, I unfortunately wasn't involved in prior.
Yeah, actually, we did have a number when we first did this contract that we were supposed to call in order to talk to them about the bulk rate.
It's changed over the period of time. That's the
don't
problem.
remember.
I'll get it back.
You had mentioned that there was a couple additional channels being added. What are those?
So I believe it was the red zone is not available on the platinum, but is now. It's not anything major that's being added. Either with red zone, 1 or 2 on.
One of the things I've learned in talking to other residents about this change is that the one thing that they're most concerned about is losing a channel that's dear to their heart. I mean, if they could care less about speed, right, fiber,
that's.
it's their channel.
Yeah.
And it also recording.
Google. Google.
Well, I mean,
And I point out to you that the other 2 providers we're looking at do provide in the contract recording capabilities. It's not an extra fee.
okay.
So I don't know if we want to, change that with this so that we're apples and apples.
Well, but is it because of the coax cable coming in?
No, we can, I mean, we could include a DVR capability. You can change the rates a little bit, not anything huge. Be happy to rerun it with DVR.
Is that limited then to strength of the DVR box?
Depending on which device you choose. So if you have set top box, regular,
Yeah,
box,
with
then
TV.
it's local recording from the box. If you have the Zumo devices, then it's out. So it's accessible everywhere that you use.
There's no limitation. No.
The Zumo can record up to 100 hours. Keeps it for 6 months at a time.
I think I misunderstood you in the beginning there. The Zumo recorders, is that included in this?
It is
It
not.
was not.
Correct.
Yeah. No, so even with the Zoom, with the new contract on the Zumo. but that's-
Uh,
On the Zoom.
rerun that. But I can run it back for you, but
I don't watch anything that I don't.
hear you.
I can-
Hey, nobody wants to sit there.
And the DVR, you know, it's about, I think it's running about $15 a month. It's not cheap.
Correct. It's,
How much does a typical subscription for that Dumo cloud-based option?
it would be $12.99 per month.
Cheaper than the DVR box?
Have to have the internet.
Yeah, correct.
Well, we do
They
have
do have
internet
internet,
now as part of
You do.
our pack, so we by default.
You have the resident. Will send it over, but it's 833-697-7338. We will send it around. 833-697-7338.
7-3 to what? I'm sorry. Thank you.
We can use that current, right?
That's for the resident, owner, board members, anybody who's controlling, has questions, you can send to them. There's an owner line as well, 877-647-7732.
That's to deal with the master. So that's the bulk account.
That's the number you call if we can never get our cables buried.
Got that.
Yeah.
I feel out.
We got filled up. We're gonna get right on.
Okay.
A lot of papers.
You have to, well,
Well, why is that so?
Landscapers. Landscapers are.
No.
No, no,
They don't bother.
no.
They should be very.
Come back. I should have
They
said
don't.
that.
I was there when they installed one the other couple of weeks ago. I asked him. He had it running right across where we are gonna run, we are gonna do a lot of things to it. And I said, can you just put it behind the bushes, which is right here, it's like 2 feet away. No, we don't do it that way. And it's been 3 weeks and it's still out. And that's short time. You got one for how long?
Got one for years.
If you can compile approximate addresses, I can get filled up.
Yeah, I don't mean to, but it seems to me that when the operator comes out and does the work, if he was assigned to bury it, which obviously he's not, we wouldn't have this issue at all.
that is separate contract for the berry.
Yeah.
That is issue that we've run into all the years.
Well, it's ridiculous for us to have to monitor that. That's really your problem. And you guys should have a system to fix it automatic.
And within 3 weeks.
That sounds like a long time to me, 3 weeks to have a proposed cable.
Well, we got a year.
Well, I understand, but if we're talking about plan to do thing, it just sounds ridiculous.
We'll gather up all the addresses.
You really need to walk all. And
Yeah.
there's exposed cables in every building. Every spot.
And exposed towers or pedestals or whatever you wanna call them.
The pedestals are what's commonly hit by the landscapers. They come through with the 0 turns. Pop it, keep on moving. Not that it shouldn't be fixed because that can cause service issues, but sometimes we may not know.
This contract would include service to the office. And is there a possibility of Wi-Fi at the pool?
Yeah, how many pools do?
Seven.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm reworking the offer for you, common areas don't cost it. Right. So load me up. Tell me where you want it and I will make that happen. I'm also gonna rework it with DVR. I'm here to fight for you guys. You know, just to put it bluntly, my compensation has nothing to do with how much you're gonna pay. So I want to give you the best deal to make you look at it and go, well, how we doing it?
And I have to find out about the, well, I got it here. For the camera work. Yeah.
Well, when you say is the office included, you mean that we're not gonna pay, the office is not gonna pay for cable connection.
Right.
Well, it'll be a common area.
And you're gonna look into the channel situation, private channel.
Can you just go back over again what that alternate phone number was for?
So the first number
Correct.
for that, we gave you the 833 number, that's for anybody in the community that has questions about their. So if you want to call that for. The other number that was given would be if HOA or if John has questions. HOA is different.
Those We're only given that second number. But for individual,
Well, that would cause some headache. I'll be able.
President,
So we sign a contract with you, and there's a problem. Who's gonna troubleshoot the problem and take care of it as quick as possible?
What kind of problem?
I don't know what it is.
Well, it depends on the nature of the problem. If it-
Big enough that it got into this roof.
Okay. Well, if it's a technical problem, it would be either site.
Let's say it was a technical problem, and it was,
you can always call us, we're here. So, I mean, we're just in Brandon, but I mean, we would rally the team. We're gonna do today, we'll go back out the field op, you have. Walk the property and get these boxes.
is that what you do now?
Oh,
You get response?
most people get a decent response for technical issues inside their unit.
I'm talking about you, when you have to call.
When we have to call, well, we have issues. I have issues like getting cable buried. I mean, that's small, but it's not, you know,
Not insignificant.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
you know. But I think there's room to see why it's not done, and then conversely, you know, the community channels and putting Wi-Fi around the pools and things like that could be beneficial. What you're trying to do and what we're trying to have.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do that for you guys. Ready to get you guys everything you need and want. They'll make it so possible.
both numbers.
We don't send both numbers out because well, we send the numbers for administrative purposes. But
How about the landline?
Landlines are separately billed to residents.
And that'll stay the way they've been.
I think it's $19.99 per month for a phone line. Also, if you guys don't know, I mean, hopefully you've seen our advertising. We're pretty good at it. Spectrum Mobile, you guys all qualify since you're internet customers. There's no other requirement. Right now, it's $30 for 2 lines a year, $30 a month. Even after that, $30 a line per month is better than you're going to see with any of the other big providers. It runs on the Verizon network, so you guys are familiar with Verizon top coverage in the nation.
Okay, we'll think to that.
Maybe
That's my question that. We don't use Verizon.
there are international rates available if you're going abroad.
$1 a day.
There's not a all.
You don't have that option.
I actually tried to use that $29.95 thing. But since I already had a limited account, a $15 account,
Mhm.
they wouldn't give it to me. So I wasn't a new customer.
So that,
Standard
correct.
to be.
That was the rule previously before we dropped to $29.99 or right at the initial drop to $29.99, the unlimited used to be $45. And if the rule was that you were on the gigabyte 1 gig for
Right.
couldn't put $30. That had changed. You can call back and change. it. Or you
Okay.
can go on.
I tried it a month and a half ago and it didn't work.
Okay. You definitely should be able to now. I can find you a contact over there.
What's just noticing on the feed, I don't know if any of you do this. Spectrum News, and you can get it for other areas other than just. Anybody done that? I do that. It works. That's on the app. I mean, it's listed here as a channel.
You'll have that channel available too.
In the 22, I did the app.
How are things in Pittsburgh anyway?
Yeah.
At least Kentucky, Kentucky.
Are you familiar with what some of your competitors are offering? You know, entitlements and things of that nature.
Well, for all the communities, it's different because for them to bring service in here, there's gonna be construction costs. So
yeah.
it's gonna be different for your community versus somebody down the street. I know roundabout. I'd love to, if you're willing to share.
No,
I'd hear it.
I'm just saying that yours is a little bit under what's being thrown around.
Cost wise,
For Dorothy,
okay,
and one system is even offering free telephone service for a year.
okay.
So I mean, I'm just saying what's out there.
Sure.
5% is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
we don't tell them that. No, appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys, sharing, giving me knowing what help get this across the finish line. I will bring you back a different offer, bring you back something that's gonna meet the needs of what you've described. Okay,
How long will that take?
not gonna take me long, days, maybe a
Tomorrow,
week.
yeah.
I'll have to go back for approvals again, so a week.
It would help too if you include what we anticipate the tax fee. Or you can put the $53 plus $645 or something, because it does vary, and when we try to insert in our budget, sometimes the taxes change.
I'll get you an exact number per
Yeah,
door per day.
that helps.
I think that was the other proposal.
Well, no, see, $63 does not include the current taxes, because we're really about $69.
I know you deal with John but I don't see your name on here anywhere. Maybe I missed it.
Oh, no, it's actually not here. Let me hand my card around.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
And just
Yeah.
pass around. Not enough. What am I buying?
This is the new.
Yeah. Yes.
What's that? Anybody else have a question?
Maybe I asked the question of what didn't we ask? We should have.
I think you guys covered everything. Yeah, I think you guys got it all. I can't think of anything else that you missed. So 7 pool areas, the office, are there any other common areas that you'd like to see covered?
Tennis court. Right out there.
Playing, you know.
What about
Why are you waiting to play?
Well, here's what I thought. I mean, we've had some shows outside. We've had some stuff outside. I don't know how that works.
one thing to
That'd be
consider
great.
when you're talking about service outside? Has to be a place to put the modem. There has to be electrical, there has to be a place.
Have all that.
Damn.
Yeah. Pool has that, but
Yeah.
maybe not.
Transport might challenge
Yeah.
from that side of it, but I'm just thinking about your mark.
And you're not thinking about us on pickleball?
On the other side of the fence.
Well, if anything else comes up, I know there will probably be 10 more questions that come up after we walk out.
Absolutely. But
Got my info.
Yeah.
Call me, email me. I'm here to help, and I'll get these numbers back to you as quick as I can.
I think the other was including a sumo cloud recording.
for the, well, when we rerun it for the DVR, it's either or, so it'll be there. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You guys have any more of the channel sheets?
Yeah.
I don't see.
And we're up. Let's meet you guys. Thank you all.
All right, thank you. I don't think like, but
Okay.
What was that block service?
Bulk service number 833 697 7328.
Yeah, send that to me, email, John, I'll put it up on the website.
Absolutely.
They are fast.
and take out.
No, I'm not getting used to that.
They're on there.
Oh,
Never had a.
When they sent out that new equipment, they gave me a one piece instead of two piece.
I do have the 2 piece, but I do have this, one of them is the cylindrical
Mine's wonderful too. Yeah, that worked. Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Wait, well, if I had to reboot during the, we were talking about this, it's the beginning of the Super Bowl.
Oh,
All
yeah.
blackout. And like,
Okay, you didn't have to reboot.
Yeah.
and the channel blacked out.
It went everywhere.
My screen broke.
Everywhere.
Yeah, right at the end of the game.
I thought it was
Yeah.
Yeah, no. We didn't have smoke or, you know.
I thought it was.
And then it froze right at the end of the game.
I thought it was Chinese terrorists. Took out the world.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that have been something?
You know, that thought could be like somebody hacked the
Yeah.
Super Bowl would be perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this?
About all of these, any consideration given to having only one hookup per unit and the second one be paid for by the owner? And would that cost less? I would assume it would be. So a lot of people only have one TV and only one room. They're paying for two. So
A lot of people have 4 TV.
So those with one TV are paying for those who have two. Wouldn't it be to have,
Well, we should have asked him when I was here that question.
Yeah.
well, I wasn't sure if it was appropriate, I'm not a board member.
Yeah.
Having that out here now.
Oh, it's a thought, it's a thought.
We
I can,
You can.
How about
Josh
that?
can
we talk,
Yeah.
yeah.
Be cost prohibitive. Other people have.
Yeah, I understand, but the question could be asked, but I understand what you're saying.
And if it is, not,
Yeah.
I understand that.
Just
Yeah, we can find out,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity.
seems to be standard though.
Why don't you
But
sit down, just like people, don't play pickleball or don't go to the pool, they're paying for them.
I think they listen to hear some of our briefs now
Yeah.
that we have, and be interesting to see what
What
happens,
they've done, yeah.
what gets done in short order.
Yeah. If we have another 18 months with them. You can't-
Or we can wipe it out and we wipe out another. I mean, we're slated if we were to go with cable and not be farsighted enough to go to
Fiber optic.
optic. Next year, we're gonna have another 5% increase.
Yeah.
If we decide to stay with cable, you wouldn't have that 5%, plus you might even have a decrease.
And we get another $100,000.
Well, yeah, 100, that's what they paid us last time.
Yeah,
11,
same thing,
111.
111,
Is anybody concerned about that? With the other two that are
140?
100, yeah, it's 139.5, so there's about $28,000 difference.
We just have to lay them all out next to each other.
Yeah,
And this is a 5-year term, this is their
Mhm.
10-year, 7-year. Without,
Yeah, shorter term,
I also like the fact that the other two are gonna upgrade the fiber throughout.
Well, yeah, but everybody always says that the real problem is those the jams between the providing area and your unit.
Yeah, but it eliminates the cost for people paying for DVR right now, because that iCloud recording would be part of those fiber apps.
They can
You have
change
to
that.
dump the money every month.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just think as the board considers this, I know I'm going on, but we need to consider what do we want to look like here in the future?
Yeah,
What do we
sure.
want to offer to people? I'm not saying give this consideration, but where do we want to be in 5 years or 7 years? And what's that going to do to our resale value if we stay where we are or change? So just things that I think need to be in everybody's mind as we, look at all of these opportunities.
Agreed.
Is the future fiber optics or is it sticking with coax cable?
Think been fiber for 10 years
Yeah.
already. Been out over New York.
And I'm surprised they're not going. That's really,
Well, their baby step is to bring it up to the association door.
which they just did along Wildwood Spring Boulevard.
Yeah.
We did it from court. The box that was on top of the ground is now gone. Underground, and they did run the fire. Bringing it to that point. That's another thing.
Bringing it to that for
Yeah.
another year.
Well, getting rid of all, absolutely, getting rid of everything on top. I mean, they're always.
Yeah.
Site.
Yeah, but he said this would not eliminate that.
Right.
Yeah.
This would.
And it wouldn't be in effect until the beginning, until a year from now. We could renegotiate the contract now, but bringing fiber optic up to the association door would not go into effect until a year.
Right.
Which, what does that do for us?
No, the other,
Just changes the download and upload, the uploads.
I mean, is there anybody really having that much problems with the download speed now? I know Tiffany talked about.
right there.
Oh, yeah.
I actually, just a week ago, I was getting 40. I called them. It took a while to get to the technician. You had to go through the automated system first. But once I got to a technician, he was very good. He figured out, he discerned that I had a code on my router that wasn't right. He changed that code, I rebooted the router and the modem, and I'm at 220. So, you get the right guy or the right person in technical support, they can make the changes there without having to come out.
I didn't like the fact that they wouldn't automatically, like our rep, whoever that is, Brad, our rep,
Apparently now,
that,
So next year,
if something came up like, the repricing, that why wouldn't they at least notify us? Hey, if you call in, you can renegotiate from $20 to $5. Support, yeah, yeah. Well, that's.
they used to have an on-site person who called here on a monthly basis. And she would sit there and say, hey, this is going on, pass it out. And that was called customer, something to do with customer relation. And she was very tearful when she came in the last time. She said, oh, they wiped out our whole department. All done. But I mean, those kind of things, that's what she would bring up. There's been a reduction in this, stuff like that. So they've eliminated that whole department.
Spectrum's never been known for their service.
Well, that's when Spectrum took over, because whoever we were before, I can't. Bright House. Well, with Bright House, they had that customer service.
I just did a speed check. Downloads 12.36.
But like you said, that's the router and. What did we hit?
Right.
Excuse
That router controls all of the footprint of this building. Oh, yeah, should be able to get service. Only 30 feet outside the building.
What would you have a rebar?
John, I like that with the fiber optic, everything will be wireless. And I think that's important, at least for me anyway.
Say that again, George?
Once you go to fiber optics, everything would be wireless. You don't have cables in your house.
Correct.
But the one thing you.
But they give you the extenders as part of their packages to accommodate making sure that you go the distance in the condo.
Yeah, but
Yeah, fine, fine.
that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about the fact that you gotta have a cable to connect to your TV.
Yeah.
Right.
And in the fiber optics, they don't have that.
Yeah.
Everything is Wi-Fi.
Put your
So
TV in.
you can move your TV without having to touch cable.
You can put your TV in the bathroom.
That's enough information.
You're right. I know.
Heck,
You're hardwired?
Because.
Are you hardwired? You're hardwired.
No, I'm not hardwired.
That's hammer.
I'm Wi-Fi off of the connection here in the office.
That's B14.
We just did it. Ours is
Now, the phones, it's a whole lot less.
6 feet.
Because mine.
Yeah.
But I always test on the phone. And
Never that good.
it's been better than 12. It's been over 100.
The upload. Wow.
That's typical of that. I just did it again, 9.97 this. Pretty soon. I think. You want to add it on?
Yeah.
But you
All right.
mentioned rebar, just so everybody knows. Yeah, buildings and, walls and concrete does slow down the signal a little bit, but it's not as bad. One thing that really killed the signal, leaves, trees, and bushes and stuff because of the moisture. The water actually stops the signal more than the rebar.
Interesting.
Okay.
And we got a lot of leaves with water in the ground, right?
Yep.
We got a lot of trees.
We're trying to get
Oh,
through.
Wildwood, or wild.
All right. Well, we got plenty of time to think on all three of these.
We have a lot of information.
Yeah, I think next workshop would be a time to. Well,
Is anybody gonna try and compile side by side comparison? That's how. Is there an ad hoc committee for this, or are we just all doing it together? The board is the.
board is-
It's written on the phone there.
Yeah, it's just, well, because we had an ad hoc committee last time. They came forward and didn't take it, and then people got upset.
So I agree, this is right there, the whole board is doing it.
Good job.
1609.
Easy to compare
What's
the
that?
numbers. Easy to compare the numbers, big issue.
Well, I mean, it's just to look at it in a snapshot.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, it's really easy to lay the numbers
Would you
out.
like to?
Or I just still.
I think Jamie's been doing. Keeping it comparison.
Oh, I have notes on all three of them.
I have notes, just haven't done it in one piece of paper.
It's the other stuff that's.
We're way ahead of the game. in
Yes,
terms
we are.
of preparing
Plenty
our-
of time.
I'm getting about 70.
Let's see. They're always-
Any comments on it?
Paving the flag, I think, not the future. I think it makes more sense, even if it's a little more expensive, but I think in the long run, the fiber is gonna offer a lot more. The things are gonna change again,
Mhm.
they're continually to change. And the fiber is gonna make much more sense. Perspective from one of the presentations, one last one.
Hot one.
Yes. And young, they're eager, and they seem more aware of changes of what's going on. I think the cable companies are
Yeah. Yeah. And I think most of the board agrees with you. Good point.
Well, we all know the service issues, and that's been that way
Correct.
forever. And I don't see it changing.
That's the thing, we have the advantage. You know, to talk to them about our service issues right here. The others are brand new, we don't know what service issues come up. But so the bigger picture is what's the future might be our driving point when it comes to that.
Well, you have history that tells you what the outfit does. I mean, the cable's been laying out there on the ground for how long?
And I'm just saying we don't, because we have spectrum, we know what the issues are. Yeah, we don't have an advantage of knowing what issues we might run into. So it's kind of a tough comparison.
Believe they could be as bad.
Well, it's,
Without cable, cable is an issue, we don't know that cable anymore.
I think anytime you make a change, there will be issues. I mean, I don't care any one of the three actually. There's going to be issues, and so that first 3 months or 6 months or whatever, we have to plan that it's not going to be smooth. That's up to us to do that, to make sure that we're prepared for it not to be smooth.
The other factor is these fiber optic companies are now, they're wholly construction is at their.
Yeah.
Now, we might not get as cheaper monthly rate compared to what Spectrum is offering, but it's comparable to what we are paying now. There's a lot of balancing, right?
it's interesting, having been involved in the negotiation of the contract we're under right now. When we were trying to find fiber optics six years ago,
You couldn't.
there was one company, and they came up and did very good presentation, very polished, like the new ones are doing now. But their customer service was just rank. You know, I mean, just there wasn't one good review out there with them, and we were almost had to stay with cable. But that's was a good bridge. It was that time we said next time, and this is the time. Applies is now to make the change or consider the change anyway.
The one thing that I don't think it was hot. They talked about having, from the beginning, they would assign a project manager.
Yeah.
And then that would be your contact person. Then
Throughout the construction.
They also said they had their own service people, and the other company contracted out, and so I think that's important to have.
Stream was really pushing their customer service, and when Tiffany was looking at the ratings, they couldn't really, it was iffy.
You found right.
So you don't
I
want
think it was the first company.
Yeah, that's Blue Stream.
Yeah,
I noticed they started advertising on radio, Blue Stream.
radio.
Really?
Hotwire seems to be the more established.
Well, it's a bigger company and it's nationwide than somewhat. More than just Florida.
And they're offering 4% annual.
And they're both offering the same door fee.
And if we can find some associations that are already with them,
Right.
perhaps we could interview some of their people and see how they feel about.
They're right out here near where I live, Rosedale Country Club.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I don't know if anybody's noticed, but for the past 3 weekends, I think there's been a hot wire van parked over the weekend parking lot out by the Liberty.
Have no.
It's been in
Well,
the dance studio.
They were working on 53rd, so I'm wondering if they were.
If they just leave the truck for the weekend,
Could have-
good advertising. Because they're parking it. What do you want?
Okay. Anything else before we move on to the rest?
Next up is we wait for their.
We wait for theirs, and then we'll get into it next workshop. Start comparing and we don't have to rush it there.
This fall under the IT thing. It's part of that.
Not really. That question came up at our last meeting, and we said that. So we want to be,
Any input?
we want to be involved. We need to be.
So let me ask you a question about the community channel. it's there now, it's available, I guess we just don't know about it, but would you guys be looking into that to go back to keep maintaining a community channel, or is that something the author would be?
We discussed it, to some extent. And, I actually contacted John to see if it was still out there.
Evidently it is.
I think, it seems to me that adding that to Cynthia's plate might not be, advisable, just because she's got plenty to do now. So we would probably be looking for a volunteer or two, or maybe one or two of the committee members that would be sort of responsible for it.
When it was here under analog, that position was, in fact,
Yeah, Catherine used to take care of it.
yeah, Catherine, and before that, whoever, you know.
Right.
When they went to, and when we like I said, we lost it when we went from analog to digital. They said we could have it at that time, but the equipment would cost us $5,000. And it was, that decision was made, no, now it looks like they're giving it, which they didn't when we lost it. So,
And I think it would depend
And they don't
on,
tell you.
And they don't tell us.
and then tell.
I think it would depend on if we could basically update that channel, remotely. In other words, up
Yeah.
to out.
In today's world, you probably could,
That's
because
what we're hoping, yeah.
You can't do that? You couldn't do that before?
It was all done in the office here on an old computer.
we had a special computer here, right
Yeah.
there.
It was an old PowerPoint.
Yeah, that's exactly. I did some of it. Yeah.
When we talk about a community channel, we're talking about watching it on our TV set. Is that what you're talking about?
There always used to be. one.
Thursday,
No, I never looked at it.
In a survey once, about 15% of
Well, the thing drove me nuts was how long it took to get to the next
the
screen.
exact,
And I think I remember even years ago saying, can't you just take that presentation and put it on the website? And then you could watch it a little faster or control the speed.
yeah, no, you're right. It was slow.
Okay, well, let's see if he gets back, because he's supposed to get back to us about the community camp.
oh yeah,
We'll see how that. If we do here.
and he's supposed to get back to us. I gotta look up about the IP situation.
Yeah.
Well, John, thank you for setting up all those presentations so far for us to look at. That's, I feel good. We got a lot of information under our belt already to be able to make an early decision. Real how the rest of the-
Well, if, you know, I suppose not to rush it, but the sooner we do, there may be savings all around.
Okay,
Monica, you in Germany?
You're
muted.
muted, Monica.
Okay, all right.
I'm in Colorado.
I could hear her.
I can hear a little bit.
A little bit. Say it again.
I'm in Colorado. Colorado.
Oh, Colorado.
Colorado.
Okay.
Now. Where are we here? Regular meetings. Financial matters, you'll have all that.
Yeah.
Here's your report, should have all that, financial statements, reserve investment, report.
Yep.
Yep.
When is those two? run?
16th February. My last meeting with him to just roll over one of those CDs quickly, just get a little bit more money out of it. But to make sure they're gonna liquidate those back to the operating account, because we do have two sets. We have an
Yeah.
original.
Reserve, yeah, the reserve. keep on going.
Is the operating renewing?
No, we're gonna liquidate them.
We're gonna liquidate them, put them back in operating for the insurance.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because March is coming up. We've got right now in the, as of first January, we've got $1 million in the, insurance fund. Actually, in the bank. So the update, you'll get that. Yeah.
How much, how much
Million.
operating is with them?
400 and some odd thousand.
Right now, we have 400 and rounded.
Yeah.
406,000 and the extra will up that another 1,000. So we'll be bringing back 407 roughly.
Yeah, I think we should.
That's
Not
coming back on
renew
the
it.
6th.
Let's
No,
not
we're
go.
not gonna renew, we're gonna put
No, we're not.
No.
That's
I mean-
strictly just to get extra for all the insurance money that.
As long as we're talking about insurance.
Yeah. talking on Joe's and our.
Yeah. Steve and I talked with Joe Thompson, the agent, it's time, we just, we're due in less than 30 days. And the only news he had for us right now was the fact that the renewals that they anticipated to be between 50 and 150%, and we took the middle as a budget committee of 100%, coming in about 25%.
Now that's
So
a
that's
full value.
very positive, very positive. And then we're putting pressure upon them to go below that particular because of some of the things we did with our change in value of wind insurance. We did get kind of a curveball from Joe, who inferred that if we did this, American Coastal would be one of the people who would bid on this with the lower wind rates. And now he said, he told us, surprisingly so, that American Coastal is an admitted carrier and they're not allowed to have unequal rates for various insurance. In other words, general liability, $92 million and something else. So we're a little concerned with that, but we said, then we pressed him on that. He said, well, this opens other insurance companies that would be maybe interested in not providing you wind damage of $92 million, but coverage for 92 miles, everyone else. So he said there were maybe 2 or 3 competitors. So the fact that when we know we're not going to get 100%, that's for sure. And that's really good because we funded 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And secondarily, it may be less than 25%. If it's at 25%, you got the money in the bank right now. I mean, we got the million because it would turn out to be 970, 975 or something of that nature. So,
But why do we change all the rules in the
yeah,
bylaws if we're not
if we're
going
not going to
to?
have the benefit of it,
Yeah.
that's
He
frustrating.
even said that he may be able to bring it down to flat.
Yeah.
Last year. If he pressures them saying, hey, you get this down, they'll maybe keep the full value, 93 million. But my point back to him was, well, yeah, you told us last year that we could have $100,000 to $200,000 decrease if we dropped our wind damage to 10 million. Now, why are you turning, pushing it? Well, he's pushing it because it's his commission.
Yeah.
We may have to look at somebody else next year. I don't know.
Well, and we have this year, but right now with such
Oh,
a
yeah,
flux,
I know.
we decided not to go because everybody wants the AOR, the only company who is grading us.
Right.
In other words, you have to get a rate from a underwriter. You have to have an agent of record level. But Joe has that now because Brown and Brown used to have that. They took it away and gave it to Gulfstream when it's time to make the move. But we talked to 3 others and they all said, well, give us the AOR for
Sure.
And then you're just taking one business away from somebody and giving somebody else. Joe could give us good service, but we'll find out what's
We'll
going to
find
happen.
out.
Yeah,
We said he'd get back to us within a couple of days.
yeah, we're
About the little-
expecting hearing within the week. We have to.
Well, I know we have to, yeah.
So we know that we're going from 100% increase down to 25%. Let's just say.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What now would happen? So unit owners paid the January to the new increase.
And they'll pay their April 1st increase too, because
There's
it's
no
still
way you can lower that.
not this rate, not this. No,
Can't turn it around. that
no,
way.
but we could turn it. I mean,
For
if you want
July.
to give them X amount of money, you can give them part of their April back. But we got other issues. And we're looking at the ramifications of the garbage increase that nobody gave us. And that's almost $14,000 a month coming in January.
Compared to what?
Rate over our budget. our budget,
That's the overage.
Yeah.
per month.
yeah. And so there's gonna be a lot of things impacting in what we got a lot of money to look at. We also gotta figure out how much money we need to pay next March.
Yeah.
And then how much money we need for the shortfall of the garbage. And then we can start talking about relief.
I think,
And there is gonna be relief.
There is gonna be relief.
I think it would be a mistake for anybody in this room to go back to any constituency and talk about how we're gonna lower anything until we know what the numbers are.
That's
Yeah.
right, you're right. So anyway, it's more positive than it's been in a long time.
Okay, all right. Pass that account, you'll have all that, legal problems. Building repairs. all
Okay, yep, as a matter of fact, under buildings, there'll be two big things that the building, committee meeting happens to be the morning of the
Board meeting.
board meeting, so there may be some updates there, but, number one, you don't know this yet, but the contractor that's gonna do the work on the, slabs, I've invited him to come so we can have a full meeting of the minds, the project and where we are, so there'll be no mistakes in between. We've got a contract left.
Yeah.
But, you know, so he's coming to that meeting on Monday.
landings.
Yeah.
Second floor.
Okay.
That include, Tiffany had brought up about the original.
Yeah, yeah.
Is removing
gonna
all
include-
that.
Well, if it needs to, we're looking at every single one. And then secondly, there's the flooding easy for me to say, problem in the 200s,
Yeah.
and that'll be on the building committee agenda also for discussion.
Yeah.
So that's two big issues we'll be talking about maybe and have some answers for you at the meeting later on the day.
Okay. Do we have a schedule yet on seal coating the main drive?
About yes, as a matter of fact, it's about 3 weeks away. And the longer it goes, the better, less traffic, you know, but they just got hit with a lot of this. So,
We're talking about mid-March, 10th of March. something like
yeah,
that.
could be mid-March, yeah.
What about painting the building this summer? Is that still on?
We were, no, none at all.
And we're gonna clean.
So we're gonna clean, yeah, but trying to get one more year out,
I thought we did that last year. Get one year, that would take us.
but that, we could have done it 2 years, I mean, theoretically, could have done it 2 years ago. But we're impacted by the cost. The project is up dramatically. The last time we did it for 545, best quote I'm getting is 750. And so that,
If we get one more year, we can have that money. We are gonna have Eddie and the guys start going around and cleaning.
yeah, the mill. And the painter is saying, yeah, you're starting to get some wear, but he feels that we can get another year out of it. I mean, these guys want to work. I mean, it's, you know. So. And we need 6 months before to just go around and fix wood. Much as, you know, as much as we've done. And of course, the new carpenter is working out very well. And that's got me. Okay.
All right, operations manual. We ready?
We emailed everybody on the board, this morning, copies of the, operation manual and, employee manual with changes, in red. It's a PDF, but it shows changes in red. I'm sorry, Dick Pacola got these copies. But, I have sent copies for your review. And, please, can we look at this? Send in questions to me, but we really need to
Yeah. I'd like
close
to do that.
before the, big meeting coming up. We have too much on the agenda.
You don't think we can do that this next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was a big meeting. I think.
No, that's why we want to get it
Yeah,
done this meeting.
I agree.
Like I said, all the changes, and the explanations are in red.
All right, everybody look at that and hopefully. we
And
can-
on the operation manual, it is mainly in the committee.
Keep it going.
And then, here, I think that was lunch, I did. And, in the employee manual, it is on chapter 7. It is, the grievance committee for the operation manual is different than the grievance committee, for the employee manual. Only in the parts, the employees don't care about the fines that are given to a resident for not complying or with and stuff like that. So it's just a condensed, a smaller version. They don't care about all that other stuff. If they have a grievance, they want it taken care of. And that's what it essentially says. And those are the changes.
Oh, Jeff Weaver. Excuse me, Cookie has to go. She's got a. Jeff, can you take Cookie back home? She's got a ride to pick her up to take her to her. Oh, okay, I'll get Jim. No problem. Call Jim Sal.
Communications down we have.
Okay, I got my bike.
What's on the headline?
Taking plenty of big deal.
Jim, can you pick up Cookie and take her home? She has to get a ride. She can't drive for another day. Yeah, where are you? Come on back and take my. Okay, please come into the office and take Cookie back to her unit so she can get picked up. All right, thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
New business.
How soon before you're allowed to drive? Oh,
Thank you, sorry.
Right. So,
yep.
all right, communications, you'll have all that.
Yeah.
Date events.
And all right. What's your cable? What's the cable? Yeah.
Spring fling.
Event dates. All right. There's 2 dates that have been requested for the board to approve. Spring fling on Saturday, the 16th of March, which falls just about right in with the timely basis we anticipated. And Dennis wants to put another show on with singers and whatever on the following Friday night, I guess it is.
Yeah. What was the first date?
The first date is 16th,
17th is Saturday.
17th. Then
Oh, I didn't think. No. You got it. You got it right. You got it.
We got it.
Apologize.
I had a time back about 35 years ago where 3 families with their kids, and including my family, took a cruise from Miami to New York City and then planned to stop in New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington for the kids. When we got off the cruise ship and got to the hotel, they said, "Oh, Mr. Haggerty, you should have been here yesterday." And everybody looked at me, and it turned out that I'd used a year-old calendar. Every room was wrong for 10 days. I made it up with Jim.
So the 22nd, what's that show? Is that an oldie show?
The same singer we had last time.
Oh, I thought he was having that Julie lady.
Oh, I thought that's what it was.
No, somebody,
Anyway, he wants to put it on, and it should be fun.
that's on the
And
22nd.
he wants it in the evening.
Okay, Friday the 22nd. All right. All right, manager's report.
That would be forthcoming, obviously.
Manager report, director's comment. Anybody, comments? Anything?
But we didn't talk about the annual meeting thing, we just jumped over it, but
Okay.
as you know, everybo's, hopefully if you started getting the mailing notice.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got
all
mine.
right, it's obviously the 11th, the elections in two villages, Oakview and, Sherwood. Other than that, proxies are already coming in. I guess people got so revved up from the last proxy time. Usually it'd be a week or two before we get them, and we've got a ton of them already. So that's good news.
I have a question about the insurance. Communication. This guy's gonna come in, he's gonna talk to you in 3 days or 4 days, he might come talk to you after next week's board meeting. We're gonna get updated in between meetings and things like that, how does that work?
Historically, we've gone to the February meeting without full knowledge of what's going to be. And the board has usually passed a resolution allowing the president to take the best offer without having a special meeting. We can always have a special meeting. It takes 48 hours to talk about. But anybody and everybody will be welcome, as long as you stay under a quorum if Joe comes to make the presentation.
Love to hear about it.
Conversely, he may just shoot it something in an email and we'll pass it there. So I mean, this is gonna be transparent, I mean, because we're talking about a big deal.
Well, I'm not saying it won't be transparent, I wanna make sure that everybody gets a chance to look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spent too much time on this.
Sure.
I agree. I agree.
Too much time and money.
Okay. Anything else? All right. And I think we're done. We do adjourn. Second.
Go.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.